Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to welcome you in our next edition of the Skype interview with the vegetable industry expert. To date, we are hosting a team from Nunems, from different countries, and we will be talking about the pickling cucumber. So let me introduce, we start from the ladies, Izabela Lagierska from Polish Nunems team. And she's responsible for pickling cucumbers and tomato processing. Hello.
Good afternoon. First of all, welcome to everybody. I also would like to welcome to all the followers of the Rozmowy o rolnictwie public group. So many thanks also to the Plant Press for giving us the opportunity to exchange here the global information about the pickling cucumber industry. I'm Izabela Lagierska. I'm from BASF Vegetable seeds, and I'm responsible for pickling cucumber and tomato processing in country of Poland. So my main responsibility is giving the support and having a direct contact with the growers and the processors in the country of Poland. Thank you.
Next person is comes to us by Skype from Germany, Andreas Herr. And he is on the global level responsible for the pickling cucumbers. Hello.
Hello, my name is Andreas Herr. I'm based in Germany. I'm working since 15 years for Nunems and 15 years in pickles. I started in sales locally in Germany. Now I'm the global product development specialist. And in this role, I'm visiting the main pickling producing countries worldwide. So I am in touch with the local colleagues and local customers, and think based on that I have a good overview about the global market for the pickles.
That's very good. We will start soon asking you the questions. Also from Ukraine, from Nunems Ukraine, our guest is a country manager itself, Mr. Andriy Demyaniv. Hello.
Hello.
And Andriy is
good
also
afternoon.
Responsible for pickling cucumbers, so the right person in the right place, yes? Okay.
Dzień dobry, panie та панове.
Okay.
I'm really glad to join for this conference. I'm glad to share some information about Ukrainian pickling cucumber market.
Okay.
Thank you.
We should start from the ladies, but maybe we start from the global perspective, so then we choose the men. So, Andreas, if you can share with our viewers, what is the present situation regarding the globally about the pickling cucumber, that will be quite interesting for the audience.
Yes, so we were coming from 2019 out of a situation of an under average yield. So Europe had cold weather conditions. We had lower yields than usual. India had less sowings because lack of water. So globally, the stocks were quite empty at the end of the last season. Now with the new situation with Corona, even the sales of canned food are increasing. So the stocks are running close to zero. So there's a huge demand in the market, which might maybe now not really fulfilled by this new Corona problems. Main challenge here in Europe will be the seasonal labor, because pickling cucumber is a very labor-intensive crop, mostly harvested by not local people, and it will be a challenge to move these peoples to the places where they have to work. In Germany, we mainly depend on seasonal workers from Poland and Romania. There seems to be a political solution now to have at least a limited number of people allowed to come. In Turkey, for example, they depend on people from East Anatolia moving to the west part of Turkey, which are not allowed at the moment. So the main limitation in the pickling production will be the availability of labor.
Okay. And what about the situation in Ukraine? How it looks like today?
Okay. About Ukraine. As you know, after 2014, many processing factory, usually which focus for Russian market, completely stopped to work. And now, after 2014, during this day, we have a really stable market because this market focus mostly for domestic market. And we have a big market for fresh consumptions and also big market for home processing. It means that people in the village and even people in the city still produce some pickling cucumbers in the jar in the home. And we really like a browning cucumber, which produce also for himself. So this market is stable, and I expect that this market will be grow this year in Ukraine.
But don't you expect any problem with the people for the professional farmers to come to the farms and making a picking of the cucumbers? Or?
Yes, this year for big growers it will be a really big problem. We faced in this problem last year because not enough labor in the field to harvest pickling cucumber. This year we against thinking that it will be big problem for big growers. In this case, big growers not will be increased area. For me, big growers it means 5 or 20 hectares of pickling cucumber in case of Ukraine. But we expect growth in case of small growers, because a lot of small growers which grow pickling cucumber in small plots nearly home, for example, for fresh market, they will increase own area, and also number of these small growers also will increase.
Okay, thank you very much. And Izabela, let's jump into our own country. How is the situation in Poland right now and in the coming weeks? What is your expectation? Opinions?
So Andreas explained the global situation, and our situation is not far away from the global ones. I mean, we entered the year with the forecast that we will increase the surface because the last year it was a very big demand. Also, the prices for the raw material was very high. So this creates an opportunity to increase the surface this year. However, now we face the situation with the coronavirus, and we have the same difficulties like in other countries. And this main challenge is the labor, the seasonal labor. Really, the growers, we have many discussions right now with the growers that they are really not sure if the people can come. We usually have a people and support from the Ukrainian people during the harvesting period. So here we are not sure if those people can come to Poland. So we are just before the season period. The season period should start in middle of April for the more professional farms and can end the middle of May. So looking to the situation on the market, yes, that's true that the sales of the canned food is very heavy right now. So it sounds that the demand this year also will be high. However, I don't see that the forecast we will be able to increase the surface because of the limitation factors as it is right now. So that's the situation at this moment.
Mm-hmm. There is some questions or even discussion about maybe we should postpone, or at least a little bit postpone the sowing to see how the situation is developed, and maybe that will be less problem with the labor forces, etc., etc. Maybe Andreas, it's true that in many countries people go for the discussion. Maybe you have some suggestions for the growers regarding the way how to do it, maybe even varieties. So what do you think about these solutions or proposals about postponing sowing?
Yes, usually if I would be a farmer, I would also wait a little bit the situation. Here in Germany, the weather would be perfect now for sowings. Temperature is there for germination, it would be perfect, but nobody starts. because we just got a few days ago this political solution with the seasonal labor. Before, the borders were closed. We did not know anything. Now we have an option that people from Poland and Romania enter the country by plane in groups. They have to be in quarantine on the farms, but they can work in the group like they've arrived. There's a limitation how many people are allowed to live in one room, so they cannot have as many people as the previous years. So now the farmers have to calculate realistically how many people we have in June to harvest the crop before they invest into a field which is a fixed cost of close to 10,000 euros, which would be a big loss when they can't harvest it. So they follow now a little bit the situation of the earlier crops, who work with the people how in practice it will go with the seasonal workers. And therefore, I think postponing until end of April, early May should not be a problem. You still can get a good crop. Maybe focus on early varieties like Platina or Cebate, just in order not to have a further delay of the total crop.
Okay. What about this kind of solution in Ukraine? People thinking about it, or rather everything go without any delays?
Okay, in case of Ukraine, we usually don't use the early sowing because we don't need early product. We usually need the product raw material in the middle of the summer, when the farmer can get a good price. In this case, usually our grower start to sowing in the end of May and beginning of June. And sometimes, usually in the south, we have a second cycle of sowing peeling cucumber, and we use for this very early product, very early variety like Andreas described. Usually it's a Platina, which give really early yield and give high yield in the short period. And also we have a different strategy to use a really strong variety which can give very long harvest period. It's like Branina or Prolix, this type of variety. Okay. More strong for insect.
Okay, Izabela, what about our own country, about Poland? How you see the situation today?
Mm-hmm. So normally the traditional period of sowing, it from the past it was around half of the May. So now, because of the climate changes, we start to do the sowing already in April, in the second part of April. That give us the opportunity to elongate the harvesting period and in the same to increase the final yield. However, this coronavirus situation is something unique, and here not the weather but the situation of the availability of the labor says us what we can do. So I think if we will postpone it a little bit, the sowing period, it wouldn't be a bad solution. So we still have time to do the sowing. So I don't see a issue here to postpone a little bit and wait how the situation will look like.
So if we right now, to slowly finishing our interview and our discussion, if you give your kind of today recommendation both to the farmers, maybe even to the processors, what it will be in the few sentences, what they should do, I guess should be patient and see what's going on around, but what comes from your side? Andreas, maybe starting from global perspective again?
Yes, so I'm pretty sure that globally we will have more demand than production this year because of the corona situation. So everybody who is able to manage production, farmers as well as processors who have enough people, who have the materials, should produce, because the prices will go up when there's more demand on the market. Prices will go up. The situation is good as long as you are able to produce. So I think that's my advice. Please produce pickles.
Okay, Andriy?
Okay, my advice for Polish grower is still invest in irrigation, because climate really changed. We see in Ukraine that more north climate really changed. In the south people must have irrigation, but now also in the north part of Ukraine we start to use drip irrigation for pickling cucumber. And keep contact each other, keep contact with Nunem's team, and we can give you some information about world situation. And also now it's a good opportunity to Polish processors to buy some raw material in Ukraine. We not speak about big quantity, but we just start to try buy some quantity of raw materials. Because Ukrainian growers, especially small growers, focus for the best quality of raw materials and the small size of raw materials. So it's a good solution for this year.
And Izabela, your last words from Poland to the Polish growers?
My last words in English. Okay, so I fully agree with Andreas that we can have a good year if there will be a people who could harvest. So for those growers who will take a risk and be optimistic with the crop, and who will find the people to harvest, that season can be successful, because the sales of the ready product at this moment is very good. So the global stock is quite empty, so there will be a demand. Also, I agree with Andrei that we shouldn't avoid to have a drip irrigation, or to invest with folia or the fleece. All the things that we can invest at this moment to protect the crop. It's an investment for a better quality, and yes, as much as we can do, we should to do normally.
Okay. So at this moment I would like to thank you very much for your time and quite interesting and really fresh information about what's going on. I would like also to wish you a healthy time. I think this is the most important one. Thank you very much.
Thank you also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you also.
Okay. Thank you very much and have a good day, and bye-bye. Thank you.
Safety.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Safety first.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.